Hello everyone, Tikabah here, and welcome back to episode 11 of the Road to Endgame series. If you're enjoying the series, don't forget to support the channel by subscribing, liking the video, and leaving a comment. Your feedback means a lot and helps keep the series going strong. With that, let's start today's episode. We're diving into the Arcangrove storyline to continue our journey toward defeating Chaos Lord Ledgermayne. The first part of this quest line takes us through the Tower of Magic, where we begin by observing the observatory to gather critical Arcangrove information. From there, we meet Yua the Treekeeper in the Cloister, who will guide us through the next series of quests. First quest is to find the Sacred Life Root hidden within the Cloister. Once that's done, we're tasked with taking down the Acornants to collect 10 Acornant shells. And for the next quest, we battle the Karasu to gather Cloister fruit bundles. Next, we grab some mana potions from Reen the Alchemist and apply it to 3 special pillars of the Mother Tree. I had a bit of trouble finding the pillars since it's been so long I last did the Arcangrove questline. I still remembered some general details, but my memory was definitely a bit rusty. That's part of the fun though. I want to experience the storyline as raw as possible, so I try not to follow guides unless absolutely necessary. Instead, I rely on the quest descriptions and my own exploration. It makes the journey feel more immersive, even if it means I spend a little extra time figuring things out. Now that we are done with Cloister, we head over to Mudlock and begin helping Patty Lump. We start with the quest, Toothy Smiles, where we collect 10 Swamp Lurker teeth by defeating Swamp Lurkers in the area. Next, we move on to Slimy Cyrus. For this quest, we need to gather 5 slimy skins from any swamp monster. After that, we tackle Lord of the Fleas, where we collect 12 huge fleas from the Gorillafants. And for the next one, not the best idea, we switch focus to hunting 12 frog drakes to maintain balance in the swamp. And with that done, we reach the last quest, Gates and Guardians. For the last quest, we need to solve a puzzle to unlock the gate and battle the Tiger Leech to obtain the Rod of Defiance. Which brings us one step closer to completing the Arcangrove storyline. After the cutscene, we head back to Race to accept his next quest, which takes us to Natatorium. There, Nyes tasks us with collecting 12 corrupted coral scattered throughout the area. All we need to do is go to the different rooms in the map and go near the corals to collect them. Next, we need to help the merfolk replenish their food reserves by collecting 20 angler fillets from the anglerfish. Then, we need to free 12 Merdraconians who have been corrupted by Ledgermayne's power. And for the next quest, we need to go to different maps and kill the monsters there. We'll start off in Arcangrove to collect the brain corals from the seed spitters, then head over to Mudlock to gather anemones from the swamp lurkers. Finally, we'll make our way to Cloister to take down the Wendigo for the Sea Whip, and a few Karasu and Acornant for the Staghorns and Seafan to finish up the quest. With that, it's time for the final challenge. We need to retrieve the runes of Riparian, but they're guarded by the mighty beast Nessie. First, we'll need to use the natural currents of the Natatorium. To push statues onto the correct rune formations to unlock the gate, we simply need to step on the corals to activate the current, and with the right timing we can push the statue to the correct spot. With the gate open, we enter and beat Nessie, and we are shown a cutscene where Dracoth saved us from Nessie. After that, we return back to Arcangrove for the next quest. For the next part, we're tackling the ruins of Great Gilead, and for our first task, we'll start by collecting 5 dregs essences from the earth elementals. And we're heading back to Arcangrove to gather 4 spitter spirits from the seed spitters. Next, we're focusing on the element of water. We'll need to collect 5 aqueous essences from the water elementals. Then make our way to the Natatorium to take down Merdraconians and gather 6 Mare cores. Now we move on to the element of air. We'll head to the Cloister to confront the Karasu and collect 5 Karasu souls. Then we'll gather 5 Welkin essences from the wind elementals. And for the next quest, we'll start by collecting 5 Pyre essences from the fire elementals. Once that's done, we'll head to Mudlock and take down swamp frog drakes to gather 5 fire salamanders. With all 4 elements mastered, we're now ready to face the final challenge. First, we'll need to solve the mana elementals puzzle in the ruins. To solve this puzzle, we'll be shown a sequence of symbols that we need to memorize. As we explore the map, we'll find those same symbols scattered around. The key is to click the symbols in the reverse order of how they were shown to us. This puzzle honestly made my brain stop working for a bit. Even though I knew I had to do it in reverse order, I kept clicking the symbols in the same order they were shown. It was one of those moments where I had to step back and remind myself that wait, reverse means backwards. Definitely lost a few minutes there before I finally got it right. With the gate open, we can now defeat the mana elemental and move on to the next part of the quest and head back to Arcangrove. For the next part, we're heading up to Mount Mafik and accept the quest of Felsik, the magma golem. For our first quest, we are tasked to slay 8 volcanic maggots. Since the maggots didn't phase us, next up are the scoria serpents. Felsik wants us to capture 5 alpha serpents to finish the quest. Our next task is to extinguish 10 living fires. These creatures were once mortals, but their devotion to mastering fire trapped them in this eternal state. And for the final quest, deep within Mount Mafik lies the Chaos Focus Gem, guarded by the Mafik Dragon. But first, we'll need to solve a tricky bridge puzzle on the mountain path to reach the dragon's nest. After that, it's time to face the Mafik Dragon. And after we finally defeat the Mafik Dragon, we're hit with a cutscene where Ledgermayne shows up and completely destroys the Chaos Focus Gem right before our eyes. All that effort, and Ledgermayne shatters the gem in an instant. To continue the storyline, we're heading into the Para-Elemental Plane and /Join Elemental. Our first task is to capture 8 mana imps, magical creatures made entirely of mana. Next, we're up against the Mana Falcons. We need to collect 5 astral feathers by defeating them. Next comes the tough part. To reach the mana golem, we need to retrieve astral orbs from each of the major bosses we've fought so far. The Wendigo, Tiger Leech, Nessie, Mana Elemental, and Mafik Dragon. Each boss holds a crucial astral orb, and we'll need them all to move forward. Once we've collected all 5, we'll be ready for the final battle. With all the orb collected, we can now go and defeat the Mana Golem and finish the last quest in Elemental. With the Mana Golem defeated, it's time for the ultimate showdown. Let's head to the top of the tower in Arcangrove and /Join Ledgermayne to face the final battle and bring this epic storyline to a close. And with Ledgermayne defeated, we've completed the Arcangrove storyline. It's been a wild journey through chaos, magic, and powerful enemies, but we've come out victorious. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment with any suggestions or tips for what we should tackle next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.